Hey everyone, my name's Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I want to talk to you about Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This book kind of went a little viral. I feel like I saw it all over the place when it first came out, and that is actually when I read it, so I know I'm getting this review out really late. Sorry about that, but I still wanted to get the comments that I had to say, the ones that I had to say out about the book. Divine Rivals is a very unique story that is a magical realism, fantasy realism. I don't know if it's YA. I thought it was YA, but it might not be YA. Book about a girl named Iris and a boy named Roman. They are competitors at a newspaper. The book is kind of set back in time, almost in like the World War I era. So it's got that kind of vibe, but it's also a fantasy world where there are gods and magic that influence the world. Iris and Roman work at a newspaper together, and they are rivals. They are competing for a spot in the published newspaper while there is a war going on that Iris's brother went to fight in. Things happen that make Iris decide that she is going to go be a reporter on the front at the war. And Roman Kit just does not want to let that happen. He doesn't want to let her leave. So he decides to follow her. Iris has been writing letters to her brother with her typewriter, sliding them underneath the door of her armoire, her room. And before she leaves to head to the front for the war, someone writes back. I gave this book 4 stars. When I read it, kind of had a difficult time getting into the book, especially reading the physical copy. When I read it, it was on KU, so I had to read it on my Kindle, and that's the way that I could get through it. For me, it was a very slow start. I couldn't jump into it. The story to me was very unique and interesting, and I wanted to read it, but I don't know why it just didn't pull me in the beginning. I did end up reading it pretty quickly once it started going, but it took some time. Because of that, I couldn't give it a full 5. I do think that in that 4-star rating for me, one of the biggest things is that the story was so unique that it had elements of it that I really loved, like the magical realism that I hadn't really seen anywhere before. I'm not a super like gods and mythology type person. Like, I don't love books that have that. There are some people that love them, and I'm pretty sure Rebecca writes a lot of it. I am not someone who just seeks out books that have like gods and mythology in them. So for me, that aspect was just kind of like, whatever. I didn't really care. The love story and the romance I thought was really sweet, and I enjoyed it. It was not as like heavy hitting as some of the romances that I read, which is why I thought that it was more of a YA book than not. I don't know. Maybe that was just my perception. I thought the romance was really sweet and I really liked it. The spice rating on this is 0. It is implied, but it is closed door. So there's no graphic content, but it is present in the book. So yeah, like super young readers, you should know that going into it. There's also a lot of like violence and gore description because they're at war on the front lines. So like just be aware of that if you're a parent having a young reader read it. If it's YA, I don't know. Yeah, just know that. The one bone that I have to pick about this hype of this book is I saw reviews from people saying that this book was better than Fourth Wing, and that's how they were putting it out in videos and reels and TikToks and posts, like better than Fourth Wing. Oh my gosh, this book is amazing, blah, blah, blah. It was really good. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It was really good. It was enjoyable, but it was not better than Fourth Wing. I'm sorry. It was not. Fourth Wing is on my contender list for best book of the year. It was not on par with Fourth Wing. It was not even close. It was very unique and different. It was enjoyable. It was a very sweet romance. It was not Violet Sorengel and Xaden Riorson and the dragons. It was not that. I do not agree with all of those posts of people saying everyone must read this. It's better than Fourth Wing. Like, sure, yeah, read the book. It was a good book, especially if you like the description, whatever. Don't tell me that this was better than Fourth Wing. I call bullshit. That being said, there are really, really cool things about the book that I really, really liked. I'm trying to make this spoiler free, so I'm not going to say specifics, but like the thing with the typewriters, I thought was really cool. The relationships with the characters and the people we met later on in the book and following Iris through things, I thought was I really liked the characters. I really liked the relationships. I had a lot of heart-wrenching moments and moments where I was scared for people's lives, and it was enthralling, but it was not Fourth Wing, guys. It was not Fourth Wing. Okay. So overall, I would very much recommend people read this book, especially if you like the elements of the mythology in it. It's not mythology that I knew, so I don't know if it's made up for this book specifically. I'm not good at all that stuff, so don't quote me on anything. If you like having, gods in stories and involved in all of that, cool. I did not realize that this was going to be multiple books. I thought this was a standalone. That's why I read it. It is not a standalone. The second one is coming out in December of 2023. Look out for that. I don't know if there's going to be a third one. I have no idea. Like I said, I thought this was the only one. I will read the second one because this one leaves off on a little bit of a cliffhanger, which is also why I didn't want to spoil it. So I got to know what happens. Overall, I enjoyed it. I will read book 2. Gotta find out what happens. If you want to check it out, I will put a link for the book down in the description below. I do not know if it is still on Kindle Unlimited, but you can also check that out, and that's how I read it. It may still be there, it may not. Thanks for coming to hang out with me today, and I will see you all next time.